Hey, it's Kathleen from Republica Unicornia Yarns. My hello from my colors cardigan modification steeked wondrous sweater is completely off the needles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to reinforce the steek. There are so many different ways to do this. There's a different order of operations. The way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to, and I'll show you how to do it, but I'm going to run a guiding yarn up the center of the steek, and I'll show you how to do that. And then I'm going to crochet reinforce the steek. Then I usually go ahead and block it. You can see, I don't know if you can see, I'm sure you can. Color work just gets kind of lumpy, and especially in a wool like this, a non-superwash wool, what's gonna happen when you block is everything's gonna relax and it's gonna look gorgeous. It'll also help with picking up the button bands. So my order of operations is run the guiding yarn up the center, go ahead and crochet reinforce the steek, block it, let it dry completely, and then I pick up for the button bands, and then I cut the steek. I just feel like it works better. It also kind of drags it out a little bit. I think it's easier to pick up the button bands when everything's blocked. So that's what I do. So the first thing I do is I'm going to run a thread up the center of the steek. I don't know if you all can see. So here, also all the ends are sort of woven in. They're woven in as I go. I will probably go back and reinforce them a little bit. Again, with a sticky wool like this, it's less of a big deal. So you can see, I don't know if you can see. So here's the steek. So there's the purl stitch, the 3 knit stitches, and then the purl stitch. So that's our steek right there. So what I want to do, and the reason I alternate colors like this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to run with a running stitch, I'm going to run yarn up the center of the steek. And what that'll do is that'll help me see where I'm actually going to do my crochet reinforcement. So I like to use a slick, this is Rock Lobster. I like to use a very slick, so this is a superwash BFL, contrasting color yarn so I can actually see it, because if it matches too well, it's kind of a nightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and cut like a length. I'll probably have too much, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut a length of this yarn. And I'm going to use a tapestry needle. I'm not going to like show you this, all of it, because it's very boring. So I'm going to thread my tapestry needle. So there's that. And so I'm going to find that, and what you're doing is you're like, especially when it's 2 colors like this, you're literally just going up the middle. So you're going to split that stitch in half. Because basically your purl stitches are on either side to help the folding, and you basically have like a 3 stitch run of stockinette. And so when you crochet reinforce the steek, you're basically going to take, I'm not sure I'm going to explain this well. You're going to be taking 1 leg from this stitch, the center stitch, and then 1 leg from the other stitch, the corresponding stitch. That was not words. Okay, so you can see I'm just doing a running stitch. This is like very, very boring. But it really does help to be able to see what you're doing. And so, oops. It gets a little trickier when you're not in the parts of the color work that have 2. So there, I'm going to run that up in there. So you can see it start to, and I just kind of go in and out. It's just a running stitch. It's not particularly exciting. It's just a guide, and we'll pull it out later. So you're obviously not gonna have like a bunch of ridiculous neon yarn in the middle of this. And so I'm gonna look a little bit, yeah, there we go. There we go. So just up the center of that center stitch.